Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of my modelling tutorial of my modular build. Okay, so the last point we left off of, we just basically just built it out, just quick and easy, just built it very quick, very fast. So this is our result we've got so far. If you're following along, you'll probably have the same thing. So let's jump right into it, and we'll do a bit of cleanup before we do UVing. Now, cleanup in the game industry world is something everyone uses for polygons of an object that they don't see. So if you are building, for example, if you're building a building and you're just gonna, and you're just gonna snap together a couple of things like that. There's your assets, and you're walking past. You're not going to see the back of this. You're not going to see any of this. So what they like to do is just get rid of them. You're not going to see them. It takes, it'll be more expensive on the engine if you're going to run them. It's pointless. So let's grab all these. Let's just drag them all out, holding X, so they're all still modular. And we'll start with this one. This is dead easy. Take that out. You're not going to see the back. And just for safeguarding, I'm going to take these out as well. I'm just going to take them right out because you're not going to see them. Even if you've got, a building that has, you rotating that 45 degrees. Actually, I'll do that quicker. This is still set into. Let's figure that out. Okay, let's just grab that here. If you've got at the 45 degree angle, whoops, and you've got another one on that side, even if you go around, you're not going to see any of it at all. You're not going to jump on top of the building and have a look down unless people can walk through your map, which then you've got clearly got problems. So that one's done. That's checked off. We can bring that away from us for a second. Okay, second one, we've got our little pieces here, our ledge pieces. So we'll start with the bottom one. These are exactly the same, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the top one for now and deal with the bottom one, and I'll just duplicate it up. It's just easier. So you're not going to see the back piece, we can take that right out. But you are going to see the rest of the pieces only very slightly. Which sometimes it's quite annoying. I mean, you can, if you want, you can, if I can actually get it. See, I'll just throw it in. You can, if you want, line these up. Make this a lot smaller, then line these up so you can delete them. But for the purposes of this video, I am just going to keep them. So I'll delete the back, get rid of that, and that's done. That can go over here, and this one, nice little clean up. We'll get rid of the back four. I got rid of more than I should have there. Let's delete that. Okay, back four are gone. And also, you are not going to see any of these side pieces, top or bottom pieces, because they are in the frame. So we'll just get rid of these. It's funny when you think back and you see a game and you go, yeah, that game looks good, that game looks really pretty. Well, it doesn't. If you think, oh, that's a really nice house, half the house isn't there. For example, GTA, you've got a flat. They've modelled out the flat, but they haven't modelled out the rest of the building. They've just done the outside. It's empty inside. It's cool. I like it. Wicked. So that is that done. We'll just bring that back in. Let's get rid of. There you go. So you won't see that. Let's put this back in. Normally I'd snap it in, but this snapping is being a bit weird today for some reason. If you have this problem, if you want to say to me, hey, listen guys, I've found a solution. Please let me know. But for now, it's fine. Okay, and if you duplicate this, bring this up here, and that's that done as well. And that's our cleanup window. So we'll go straight into it, we'll dive straight in with the UVs. Okay, so the UVing of modulars, normally with a modular we just combine all these, mesh combine, and then we go into the UV editor and we just UV it straight out. Then we put that into Photoshop, draw whatever you need to draw, PBR, whatever you need to PBR, and put it straight in. But modulars, it's a bit different. So I'm just going to separate these for a second. We have to do it separately. And the reason for this, excuse me, I'm just going to swig. Oh, that's much better. The reason for this is in UE4, if the UE4 will read the model as how many materials you've put on it in Maya or 3ds Max. So, for example, there's you go into the material attributes, so you can see there's Lambert 1, and that is the one material that's on it. And that when you import that to UE4 with all the UV sets, your light maps or what have you, it's going to read that it's got one material and it'll allow you to put one material onto that one UV set. So with Modular Building, you've got 1, 2. Well, for me, I've got 1 will be one material, 2 materials. These will be one material, so that's 3. You've got another material for the actual wooden frames, which is 4, and another material for the glass, which is 5. So that's 5 materials. So I need 5 materials going on it. Now, if you just combine them all, export them out, and put them into UE4, that's just one material, and you can't do that. It's just all going to be wood or all going to be brick, and it just looks absurd. So we need to put more materials on it, so we need to UV them separately. So let's jump right into it. We're going to edit UVs and UV texture editor. It's quite hard to use with my limited space to show you. So I'm just going to drag all these over here for a sec, or you can just press Control H, which will hide them. But then you have to find them in the outliner, which I don't want to do. So we'll just do it this way. So we'll go on to face. We'll get all 4 of these faces and the middle one. Don't get any of the ones there inside. We'll just concentrate on this one. And we'll create UVs, planar map, planar mapping, and the square. And this will ask you, where do you want to project your planar map? Because it's a square map, it's a flat map. You want to project this from the x-axis that's coming out. If you don't know where that is, you'll look at the bottom left here and have y, which is that, x, and z. Easy. You know, RGB, red, green, blue. So we want to project this from the x-axis. So apply that, and that is your UV map for that, which is at this point it's pretty much done. So we'll get these 2 as well. Now we can project these together. So we'll plan our map and we'll project from the Y, and we'll just drag these over here. And same with these ones. We'll do plan our map from the Z axis. Okay, so that's them 2 done. We can now that's done. So all we need to do is we're gonna go on UVs for 1, not vertexes. We're gonna tidy this up a bit. We're just gonna hold X and snap all these. So you're gonna make sure that's on UV. Holding right click, select UVs, drag them. Don't click because there's more than one, and you'll just do this. That's not good. So drag them all, hold X and snap them to the grid, and do the same with this one. Snap them to the grid. They're all snapped. I'm going to move this, just for my own sanity, I'm a bit OCD about this. I'm going to move this over here, drag them all, and holding X on the axis, on this axis, and just hold and drag until you get to the middle. Now you might be thinking, guys, you're crazy. Why are the UVs overlapping? That's fine, because them two, they're the same material, so they can read like that. So on this one, that's going to read, if I just put a brick material on it, it's going to read on here and it'll read on here as well, so it'll be fine. Because not a lot of people are going to look at it, they won't see that this is normally textured and this is a bit stretched, you know, a bit no, it's going to be a bit silly, but they won't see it. So for now we can keep it like that. But there's something else we need to change. That's not going to be brick in the middle. So what we need to do for this, it's very important with this bit, select this face, hold right click, assign new material, and assign a lambert to it. And then that's done. That means that all this has got one material, and now this lambert has got another material. So when you export into UV4, you will have two materials reading on here, so you can select two different materials. So this is lambert 1 at the moment. Select this face and go on material attributes, lambert 2. It's two materials. That's all you need to worry about with that. That's done. Let's go into the more complex one. I say more complex, it's not that complex in the slightest. And we'll go into UV texture editor again. And we'll do the same principle with this. So we might as well do the glass faces first. Remember, this is on the x-axis, and we'll just smash that right out there, drag that across, and we'll grab all these as well. Let's grab all these right out. Always takes ages. Always takes ages. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, this is just a Maya Basics guide, so hopefully you guys are not, you know, saying this is wrong, this is wrong. Even if it is, just let me know. I'll change my ways, I promise. Okay, so on the x-axis, so we'll just plan our map that, so all that's mapped out as well, and we'll just put that to the side. Okay, and all that's left to do is the tops and the bottoms, so we'll just grab this, and all these are going to be the same, so I'm just going to map all these out at the same time. Okay, and we'll plan our map this, and it's on the y-axis because it's going right down. Okay, so all that's done. We'll drag that over here. We'll sort that out in a minute, and then we'll do all the side ones as well. Obviously, this would be a lot harder with more complex models, and it'd take a hell of a lot longer, but it's alright for just pretty little cutesy assets that are going in your project, or just for fun or whatever you're doing. So let's tidy this up a bit. All these are UV'd out. So we'll drag this onto, right, we'll hold V this time and not X because for some reason it's not allowing me to do anything. Okay. Yep, we'll grab that, we'll grab that, we'll grab that. Okay, so these two are done. Last thing to do with these is to make sure they're a lot bigger for one. So we'll do that. Again, we'll do what we did with the others. Holding X, we'll just snap them to the grid, just so it reads the textures properly instead of warping them and making them seem small. So we'll do that. I always find this quite therapeutic, this bit. Just UVing along. No worries, no cares in the world. Okay, next point. So that's done, that's done, that's done, that's the whole this whole thing's done. Okay. So what we can do is we can grab this face, this face, this face, and this face. We will assign a new material. Again, we'll put it as a lambert. Lambert 3. And this one will be lambert 1 is right. We'll need to also we'll go into this. We'll do this right at the end, but we'll grab all these. I'll tell you what, it'll be easier. There we go. And we'll assign a new material to this. Right. So we'll go on naming conventions for the materials, otherwise I'll get lost and you'll get lost and the whole world will get lost. So this Lambert 4 will work backwards. Lambert 4 will go window frame, window underscore frame, and we'll leave it as that. Go on material attributes, this one, Lambert 3, will go on glass underscore panes. We'll select the face for this. Lambert 2, we'll go living room, because technically that's what you'd be seeing if you saw that part. And final one, we have Lambert 1, which I cannot. Can I rename? I can't rename the Lambert 1, so we all know Lambert 1 is the brick wall. So we've got Lambert 1, that. Second material is living room. Third material is your glass panes, and the fourth material is your window frame. So that's all we know. So I'm just going to make sure my pivot's back on here, and I'm going to move this just over here for a minute. Okay, so now that's all UV'd out, and this is all UV'd out. I'm just going to finish my UVs on this one. Technically I could keep it like that, because it would read the modular from here, here and here, because it's tileable. Modular assets use tileable materials, so it would read. So I'm just going to, regardless of it, I'm just going to move these in. And I think I might use my space a bit wiser. Let's make sure. No, I won't. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. And I'll grab these UVs as well. Hopefully that hasn't. It did. Right, careful not to grab the wrong UVs. That is what I always forget to do. Okay, and we're just going to move these in as well. Okay, they're all fine as well. They're all UV'd. Final one to UV is these bad boys. So we'll grab these out. Again, I'm just going to delete that one. Again, this one needs another material. So we'll add a new material for this one. Lambert 5. Like I said 5 before, 5 materials for 5 different things. And we'll call this ledge underscore brick. Because it's going to be a brick building. What else? Okay, let's UV text editor, and we will dive right in with this. So we will just UV this out. So we will plan our map. We'll go from the x-axis and UV that. Bottom one, we will from the y-axis. Okay. Like that, we'll just do that. And for that one, again, we will plan a map from the y. Okay, and these other two, these are already done because they are. Right, so with these ones, I'm just going to select this, which will select the entire object. If you click on it all, it'll select it, just to move it all out of the way. And we will see which edges match up. So they match up with them, so we'll flip this around like this. And okay, so we'll flip this one around as well. And we'll sew these together because the texture will read like that. So what we'll do is we'll just get these nice and even. So these are nice and even. We'll grab these UVs, bring these down as close as you can to it, as close as you like, because they're going to be sewn together anyway. Look at that, bang on. Select the edges, there's a little option here for sew the selected edges, so we'll just sew these together. So there's no bleeding in the seams of the textures. And we'll just bring all this back. And because the texture is not going to read the way I want it to on this side, we're going to just flip it like this. I like to do it vertically, not horizontally. Actually, you know what? I will do it horizontally this time. Okay, and I'll just extrude this a bit. I don't want it too much. Actually, shall I do it too much? I think I will. I'll do it a bit too much. Right, with the modular build, okay, actually I'll do it a bit smaller. Yeah, I'll do it half size. I'll be fine with that. Yep. So we'll make sure this is all snapped. Always make sure UVs are snapped when it's modular building. You don't want it bleeding through. You don't want any textures bleeding through into the other because it'll cause a lot of errors. So make sure they're all snapped. This can go with this because they're the same on either side. So this will just stay just around here. This doesn't really need to be that perfect, this one. So we'll do that. Make sure these are all snapping together quite nicely. Okay, that should be fine for that. That's all UV'd properly and effectively. That's got another material as well, so what we'll do is we'll just put this back right where it belongs. There. Yeah, that's where it belongs. And we will duplicate and we will bring this up. Let's do this properly, make sure this is snapped onto this pivot, so this will snap quite nicely up here. Okay, so that is your cleanup and your UVs materials are all set. Everything's nice and set. We'll go through it one last time, make sure everything's done. That's all UV'd out. They've got separate materials, nice and UV'd, UV'd and UV'd. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is we need to grab all of it, mesh, combine. So that's all combined together now. Make sure your pivot point is on this corner. That's just how I like to do it. We'll, zero out the pivot, so we'll just zero this out. Make sure this will be the export now. Make sure when you're exporting, make sure your X, Y and Z up here are on 0, 0, 0 and press enter. So this will be zeroed out. And make sure you delete your transformer history and delete your construction history. Delete both of them. This should be on presets. If it's not, go on to edit, delete by type, history, and edit, delete by type, non-deformer history, which is these two. And this should be ready to go into UE4, so we'll just save it. And we'll go on File, Export Selection. Export Selection, make sure it's on FBX. So we'll do that again. File, Export Selection, make sure you have the little box checked. Make sure your file type is on FBX Export. You don't need to change any of the others. Go on Export Selection. Now, make sure you have a folder for your models, for all your assets, so you can put everything into your assets. Make sure you've got a texture folder for all your textures, a UV folder for all your UVs. So I've got my ambient occlusions in my normal folder, I've got a mechanics folder, that's for something else, my models, my references for models, screenshots, don't need to worry about that, texture folder and a UV folder, just so you know where everything is. Name of convention is very important. So we're into this one. So we'll go on, we'll just name this example _module_01. We'll make sure that's like that. Make sure your smoothing groups is on. tangents by normals on, smooth mesh, make sure triangulate's on, uncheck the rest, make sure it's on NURBS. All this should be preset anyway. You don't need to change any of this nonsense, leave all that. And make sure again, FBX export selection. I've already got one, so I'll just, yep. And that's exported. That is now in FBX, that's ready to get into UE4. So I think, well, going for 25 minutes now. I will, you know what, we'll bash it, we'll go through it. So this is ready to go in. So let's open. If you've got UE4, great, so you know what you're doing. If not, you know, you can go on to UE4, you know what you're doing. Go on unrealengine.com, what is UE4, blah blah blah. You can get yourself Unreal, it's free. You can download the latest one, which is 4.10.2. It's brilliant to use. I use it every day, and it's just fun. You know, you can use it for non-commercial use, educational use, what have you. I've got a new one, but I'm going to launch 4.9.2 because that's what one of mine's in. So I will open that. Just while that's opening, we need to get some textures. We all need to get some textures. That's what we need to do. So I'll just open this to quick. For you, you can go into new project, create your project, make sure you fold it, save it in a folder that you know. So create a new folder, make sure it's on blank, and if you want to start a content, you can name your project as well. For this one, I think I will actually create a new. Actually, I won't. I'll go my previous, what I'm working on at the moment. Oops. So I'm just going to open one of my old ones from a different backup, actually. That's the one. Okay. So let's get some textures. So if you're on textures.com, you need to sign up with your email, which is fine. It's brilliant to use. You get as many textures as you like. You get 15 credits a day if you're on free, like I am. Premium, you get a lot more. Let's go right into it. So I just saw this, new bricks. Why not? If it's new, get some nice little new bricks. These are looking quite nice. I'm feeling this one. I am feeling this one. Is this seamless? This is a seamless. So I'm going to get 1024 by 995. Brilliant. I'll just grab that. I will copy this. And like I said before, make sure you have a folder ready for your textures. So I've got my textures folder here, which is all my textures. I'm just going to paste this right in. We need, what else do we need? We need another brick for our ledge. So we'll grab another brick for our ledge. We'll go back. We'll just get we'll get a concrete one actually. Bunker wall. You can use anything really. If you like it, put it on. See if it works. I mean, I like this one. I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna download this one. I'm gonna put this in my. Copy this into my textures. Okay, that is 2. I need to get a wooden, so we'll go on to we'll go into wood. Can't find wood. Search wood. We'll see what comes up. See all these. I'll just use this one. This one looks alright. Just get a wood. Just a wood texture. Any will do. Any will do. Let's grab this. Honours. Just gonna whack this straight in there. Oh, I've got it open, haven't I? So we got a wood. What do we need now? Glass. We need a glass and a living room. Okay. So we'll grab. So we don't need anything like that, but something like that might do. Something like this. Something that doesn't really show through that much. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll get some broken stuff. Okay, that's a glass. We'll grab that. We'll copy this again back into my. I need to open this folder constantly. So what am I doing? We'll copy this right in. Okay, and last one is a living room. Oops. Living room. What can we do for a living room? I suppose we can do curtains. Well, if we try curtains, yeah, that'll do. We'll just grab any of this nonsense here. Can we get away with that? I suppose we can get away with that actually. Yeah, we can. Okay, so we've got our 5 textures. With yourself, you can get them. You can get them whatever textures you like, but I'll go with them ones. I'll probably put the into a link at the bottom as well, just so you can get the same as mine, if you like. So we'll go into my project. This is a project I've been working on, and I'll just get up my map. Don't ignore the naming conventions. Okay, so we need to now. We actually don't need to see the viewport at all. So you have your import. So what we need to do is make sure you've got a folder called models, and we'll just import our FBX. So make sure you remember where you saved your FBX. For me, I saved it in my backup folder, in my honors. Sorry about that, guys. An example modular one there is, so we'll open that. It's already existing, so I've done this before, but we'll do, yes, we'll go to import options. I just leave all these. I've generated my own. I didn't do light maps with you because it's a very low poly model, and unless you're doing complex lighting, you don't really need light maps for it. So I left it out. Normally light maps are really important, but for this it doesn't really matter. So I'll generate light map UVs. Make sure all these are on. Don't import mesh, level of details. You don't need any of that. Make sure you import normals if you have them, and just import all. So we've got our mesh. We've got our little. We've got all this there for us. That's there done. And if you see it to the left, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Got our 5 materials. They imported nicely. So that's ready. We'll hold L and we'll just get the light on this side just so we can see what's going on. So we've got all these ready. What else do we need? We need our textures, so we'll import these as well. Now the good thing about textures is we can just drag and drop textures. That's UE4 is good like that. So what we'll do is go to our documents, find where our textures are. Make sure you know where they all are. So I have view sort by date. Okay, so if I can find where I put them. I've had a massive brain fart now. Hang on a sec. Which ones did I use? Documents, 23rd second. Yep. Textures. Okay, so we've got this one. we have, whoops, again, naming conventions would be brilliant here. Make sure I've got this one, throw them all in there, this one, that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got a wooden brick, and we've got the glass as well. There we go, glass, plaster white. I'll grab these 6. And we'll drag them into here, and that'll import them all. Now I know where they are because they aren't saved yet. So what we'll do, right, so the first one, we'll see what's going on. We'll get a brick, we'll drag it into, oh yeah, okay, this is the annoying part. So we've got our textures. Now we need to make them into materials because they won't read. These are just basic textures, and textures won't read. Think of these as 2D images, and 2D images won't read on a 3D mesh. So you've got to make a material to be able to make it to read. So we need 5 materials. So we'll go mat underscore brick wall. Here's our brick wall, and here's our brick. Okay. Brick wall. Drag and drop. In you go. Now that's it. That's it done. A nice, easy brick wall. We'll save that. So that's done. What else we got? Broken glass. So let's create a material. So map for material underscore broken glass, and we'll do it like this as well. Same principle. This is just drag and drop. Very tedious, but it's got to be done. Drag and drop. Make sure that's done. Ooh, nice broken glass. I like that. I like that material a lot. I'm glad I chose that. Okay, next one. We have the. I don't know if I can use that one. I'll use the wooden planks and the wrinkles. Yeah, fuck it. Okay, that one. I'll name it. That's not what I wanted. That's all. Okay, material. So you got mat underscore ledge brick. This is just name conventions for the sake of this video. I probably will change them after this actually, just so I know what I'm doing. Okay, marble. Okay, yeah, we'll just use this one for the sake of it. We'll use this one, marble. That'll work, right? Next one, we have wooden planks materials. So you've got mat underscore wooden plank. So let's drag and drop the wooden plank in there. There we are, wooden plank. That's fair enough. I don't think that's going to read very well, but we will find out. And we've got curtains, so we'll put curtains in there as well. Okay, curtains, textures, drag and drop, and there's loads of things I could do. Like I could extend these all the way to null mapper, make sure everything's nice, and like these look a bit too flat for me, but it'll be fine. They'll work. Right, so let's start dragging and dropping. So we've got matte brick wall. Which is in that one. Okay, okay. This is always the hard part. Okay, yeah. Matte brick wall. Okay, just so I know exactly what I'm doing with this, I'm just gonna take that off. I'm gonna take this off. So it's gotta be this one as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's the first one. That brick wall can fuck off for that for a sec. Curtains is going to be that one. What's the next one? Wooden plank, I believe was this one. Nope, it was not. Nope, not on that one. So what was this one? Yeah, you can also search. I'm dragging and dropping, but you can, if you know exactly what you've done, you can just search. Okay, wooden plank. I mean, it's not great. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not fantastic, that wooden plank, but for now it'll be fine. Where's the ledge? Ledge. Did I name it ledge? Right, broken glass. Which one are you going in? That is the wrong thing. Okay, so map. Just got broken glass. Yep. And the final one is map underscore ledge brick. Okay. Let's just save that. Okay, so we've got 5 materials on there. I mean, they don't really look good together. Those materials specifically. But because of those materials, you can swap them out. You can put whatever material you want on it. And you can also just snap them together. Actually, I really don't like those textures together at all. I just think they're horrible. But that was just the example. It works. The textures are on it. You can shift. Is it that one? They will just snap together. You know, you can create a whole building using these. Like for example, you can just create masses of buildings on their own. But that is how you modular build. I promised it wasn't gonna. It wasn't quick in the end, but we got there. So that is, yeah, the basic guide of how you modular build. So now you take what you've created. You can make any model you like in a way you want to make it. It's not really that difficult. And you've got your 5 materials as well, so you can put as many materials as you want on it. It will, because it's UV'd, it will just tile quite nicely. It will just tile perfectly. It'll be fine to whatever material you want to put on it, which is great. I'm just going to take that ledge brick material off because I don't even like it, and the wooden one as well, and I'll also take that one off. Yeah, so that's all done for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little example of what you could actually pull off, and I will see you guys next time.